All right, now we are live. Still learning this stuff. Still learning. Learning's hard. And of course, I want to get a drink, and now I'm live. And oh well. Coffee if there's any left.
You still have a cup?
Yeah, it's in the living room there, I believe. Thank you.
You want cream?
Yeah, actually. Although Pill Rider will be upset, but So, anyways, guys, I hope all is well. There we go. Now we got some people in here. And I don't expect the big crowd. We're doing the StreamYard thing. I don't expect the big crowd. Um, everybody's doing their family stuff. I know Jeff was doing family stuff, after he was trying to sell a truck. I hope that those of you who want to be home are home, and those of you who want to be on the road making money are making money. Thank you. Look at that. My wife brought me my coffee. Now, today's coffee has been brought to you by Collies. Collies are like one of the best dogs ever. How do I know that? Because my dad used to breed and raise collies. And they are smart, loyal, but they can protect you at the same time. So, anyways, we got some people coming in. I just wanted to go live one more time before Christmas, because after today, it's going to be after this live feed, it's going to get hectic. A lot of stuff to do around the house, a lot of stuff to do tonight, because that's what holidays do. We kind of we just do our thing. I'm getting used to the StreamYard thing. I have not put a link up yet because I don't know if I want anybody in here just yet. So we'll get some people in here and we will do some shout outs. One of the things, I was going to do a couple of recorded videos outside, but it's windy as hell. And, if there's one pet peeve of mine in YouTube, it's bad audio. And audio that's, like when I use the GoPro, the microphones aren't great on them. And then you have wind noise. Now, I'm sure this is exhilarating, not, in whatever the word I'm looking for, exciting. But this particular GoPro, I bought an external mic. And I've used it twice, and it was great. It was awesome. Since then, it has not worked, and I don't know why. And I had a lot of good things I said in that particular video, and I screwed up. I should have been actually recording on my Bluetooth at the same time I was trying to record on that. So I don't know if the microphone went bad or if the connection went bad. So it's actually kind of frustrating because I want to, do better with my YouTube, and I just haven't taken the time or the money to invest in the equipment. But I figure we give each other an opportunity to say Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever floats your boat, right? And enjoy my coffee. I've had too much coffee this morning, but we'll do some shout outs, shall we? We've got Daryl Worth, good morning. John Armstrong, Sage News Network, GNC Family Trucking, Overtax, Minnesota, Spooby, Overtax, okay, yeah, Fall Faldum, Nothing Witty, Cash is King Trucking, Anthony Bressler. John Armstrong is actually kind of warm here in Cincinnati area. Yeah, it's supposed to get up to 71 degrees here. I went out earlier and I'm in a t-shirt and I was fine. Yeah, they're saying that this will be the warmest temps we've had in a while, so you got to love it. That means February it's going to be it's going to be like probably 10, like the whole month. Nomadic Brit, morning from Steve's Redcoat division. That's funny. Dang Redcoats. Poly artist and poet too. That's a unique name. Merry Christmas to one and all. Thank you. I've been getting these like it's funny. I've been getting I listen to a lot of like Nordic music, besides the metal stuff, and they have these great thumbnails. It's called Viking Christmas music, and it's not really Christmas music at all. But the thumbnail is a picture of Santa or Odin dressed as Santa. It's like this muscular, but he's got the beard and the hat. It's kind of ridiculous, but it's good music though. But all it is certain like they showcase two artists, and that's pretty much what it is. But it's good stuff nonetheless. But that's been showing up on my home feed. This guy's like, this guy likes Christmas stuff and Viking stuff. So here's this. It's kind of scary how much Google really knows about you. So, good morning, the bearded wonder. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Thank you. I took a Christmas photo. You guys want to see my Christmas photo? Here, I took a Christmas photo, and it's my Christmas card this year. And I want you to see how well I did with it, okay? Let's see. Oh, I gotta send it to myself here. Give me a second. Gallery. There it is. All right, share. Send it to me. All right. So this is my Christmas card picture. Truck for Life, good morning. Truck for Life, you make it home? So this is my Christmas photo. What do you guys think? It's a spitting image of me, isn't it? I made that last night. I had the selfie stick out, put on the hat, and it was a wrap. That's what I did. That was my Christmas photo. So if you guys tell me Merry Christmas on the phone, that prepare to get that picture. That's what you're gonna get. So scary. I am live, Toga. I am live. Truck for Life, how you doing, man? I hope all is well at the Blue Star. I hope that you're continuing to be successful there. And to be successful there, that's a great accomplishment. So, yeah, I had the deadhead, and I'm not happy. Oh, man. Well, I feel you, man. My last load for Landstar was on December 6th. And I had already had orientation set up at Schneider. And I was looking at freight that was coming out of Laredo for $1.30, which was still like 150-mile deadhead. And I was in New Braunfels, Texas. I was at the TA there. And I was looking at the low board, and it was one of those deals where emotions, we sometimes we let the emotions get the best of us. And I'd been sitting there for a day because I was still under the mindset that I'm not moving this truck for less than X amount, that kind of thing. And I noticed that there weren't any lows within 150-mile radius. I was like, what's going on? So I lowered my minimum rate, and there it was. Laredo just popped up, and there was like 100 loads coming out of Laredo for $1.30 a mile in December, in what you would think would be the peak season. And that was when the time before COVID, that was the last time that the rates were as low, like the lowest I've seen the rates, until the COVID world was happening. And at that moment, my mom called, and she was like, "Hey, I'm just trying to figure out what to give you guys for Christmas." And I said, "How about some money so I can just go home?" And she's like, "Done." And that was a blessing because there was so much that was going on at home um, that I needed to be home. I think that, there was a lot of stuff that was going on at that point in time. And I already had my orientation date for December 27th or 28th, something like that. And yeah, so I basically took the rest of the month off. Then the day after Christmas, headed up to Green Bay. And look at me now. So, but it was very frustrating because I deadheaded 680 miles is what it took to get home from New Braunfels. So yeah, I feel you. I feel you there, Truck for Life. Incredibly accurate. Thanks, John. Thanks, John. I appreciate that. You have StreamYard now. You can share it on screen now. You don't have to show the phone anymore. Well, if it's not on my computer, then I still have to show the phone. So, and I haven't messed with the whole screen sharing thing. I haven't messed with that. So, the cat wants in, but I'm going to let him stay out there for now. True. Yeah, my deadhead was 454 miles from Iowa. There was no loads going to Wisconsin. Yeah, you have, what I've learned the hard way was that the strategies to put you in a spot. So when I run the short game, and this is the great thing about the short game, is that like I booked the load, like let's say, Christmas is Saturday, right? I want to be home by Christmas Eve day, which is today, Friday. So what I would do is if I booked the load between Wednesday and Thursday, it would be a short one. So if it canceled or I couldn't find anything, I could just deadhead home within 150 miles. So a lot of times, and I notice it around here in the spot market that all my short haul kind of disappears. I did a load Monday. I probably could have done one Tuesday, but we had a lot going on here. We had to replace our stove and replace a whole plumbing issue, and it was a big deal, and I needed to be here to help with everything because my wife was still working, and I was glad to do that. There was probably 2 loads that I could have done the rest of the week, but it would have been that situation. I would have been within 100 miles of the house. The first load was literally Kansas City to Springfield, and then the second load I was looking at was my normal to Sedalia. However, and that would have been a 100-mile deadhead home. Now, if the load canceled, I was already in Springfield. So it takes a minute to learn those strategies in self-dispatch. If in a situation where, like, let's say I booked a load that was picking up Monday in Ohio, so I could be home by Wednesday for a holiday, that would make me more like, oh man, I hope I find something. So, but at least Ohio, I know I could get back to Missouri. And so I didn't have any issues there. So, I live in a good area. I'm blessed with that. So, but I feel your pain on the deadhead because I once deadheaded 680 miles just to go home because I didn't want to run for $1.30 a mile before Landstar's cut. So what is that? So 1.30 times 0.65, 84 cents a mile. So it was just easier to pay the $150 to pay for fuel to get home, and that was it. But this is the time of year when I really look at gratitude. I was very grateful that my mom did that because it seems like when good stuff like that happens, it's for a reason, and it usually follows by something negative or bad that it's like I'm glad that this happened because this next crisis was a lot easier to deal with. So happy Christmas, says Haggy. What's up? Fate Trucking. What's up? Boom. Merry Christmas, everyone. So, I spot market's a little bit easier to deal with on the Christmas rate, but and for those of you who want to stay out, man, you could be making some money, but also be aware of cancellations. Also be aware of showing up and not getting unloaded, and hope that you don't have any breakdowns or flat tires on Christmas Day because yeah, good luck finding somebody that's going to come out. So, but the plus side is hardly anybody's running. Parking is going to be easy. Had a friend of mine said that he was able to find parking at the Atlanta Petro because of this time of year, so that was cool. Gus, what's up, man? And so I plan on running a couple of loads next week. So, anyways, cash is king. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you, sir. I appreciate that. Cash is king. I appreciate that. Every time I tried running hard, overworking myself, God would slow me down. Rick, that's kind of the thing. That's kind of what I try to tell these guys that set their cost per day at 28 days a month or 26 days a month. You just can't do it. So I was talking with Cascade about this. And what he'll do is he'll run hard on some periods and then he'll be home for others. He's got a big family. He's always got things going on at home. And when he took his, at the end of the year, the days off, he averaged working 17 days a month, even though he had a couple of months where he stayed out straight and then like maybe take a half a month off here and there for holiday stuff. Or special events at home or whatever. And so I always tell people, to put your cost per day at 20 days a month, because not only are you worried about staying at home, but you have to worry about downtime too, especially in this environment where you might be waiting extra weeks for your parts to come in. I tried to get ready to the spot market, but SFI wants 5,500 to move. Yeah, I know. And that's where they get you in. And I think that's going to get worse, Trucker for Life, because SFI has said that they don't want any money, or they don't have any trucks. I'm sorry. I have Cash App, Chucky. And it's, I feel your pain because it's this illusion of freedom. We talked to somebody. We have somebody that wants to come on, and they have an SFI truck, but they've already moved it once, and so they've already paid that fee. But it's more of a deposit kind of thing. So, anyways, Pigtail, Merry Christmas. How's it going? I was hoping to get some range time while I was off, but there's just too much stuff going on. So I've got a 40 cal that I want to mess with. But Cash is king. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Gus, what's up? Gus says, I like that. I like that. That's kind of been my deal there. Letting the cat in, of course. That's all I do. That's the only reason why the pets appreciate me at home, because I am the great doorman, the great human that knows how to, with the opposable thumbs, that knows how to move doors and doorknobs. Yeah, John, I've never shot one. I might have. Pigtail, did we shoot a 40 or a 45 when we went? Averaging 15,000 a month, is that good? Gary, I can't tell you if that's good or not, because I'm not the guy that's going to sit there and say, "Oh, that's horrible" or "That's great." 15 is great in a normal market, and if you're working 20 days a month or 25 days a month, that's pretty good. that was one of the things I don't miss about Facebook is the whole groups. You know, they'll sit there and say, Psh, I made that in 10 days, you know, or something like that. And, you know, it's about what you net. It's about what you net, Gary. Let me highlight that comment because, you know, that's what StreamYard people do. And I'm still learning this, right? So it's about what you net. Like, for example, I know a person that only grossed 8,500 one month, but he netted 6,000 because his fuel costs were pretty low, and see, and his operating costs are pretty low. So, so it's about what you net. And I know people that will make 20,000 in a month, and they still only net 6 because of their expenses. So that's you know, and Chucky's got it right here. Gary, if that covers what you need and want, then that's a great number. And look, if you're running like 600 miles or 800 miles, you know, or if you're trying to run 700 miles a day and you're out 30 days a month trying to get that 15,000, then no, that's not good. You're working too hard. But if you're getting that in 20, 25 days, running 300 miles a day or an average of 400 or 500, you know, then you know, you're good. Fate Trucking, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Happy New Year. Great time to set new goals. Yes. I will be taking my fitness to a different level. We're going to do, instead of maybe morning coffee lives, we might do some let's walk around the truck stop lives, or if I'm at home, you know, there's 2022 is going to be a year where I'm not in the truck as much, even less so than what I was this year because of the things that Jeff's got coming down the line. I do have a bid for a load on Monday, and they'll probably take it. But it's literally 60 miles, and it'll be easy money. So, and I'm still trying to hit a goal for each month and for the quarter. So we're trying to get close. You know, in or out. Dave, you have no idea, man. These cats, I swear. Fate Trucking, thank you very much. These cats literally like every 3 minutes. That's why if I see them outside, I'll just, like this one wants out now. And at some point, since it's not real cold, I'll just leave them out there. So they say a second civil war is coming in 2022. Thoughts? Whose side are you on? You know, one of the videos I was going to record was about the doom and gloom that social media is putting out there. You know, the fact that some news outlets are putting that narrative out there, and all it is, it's a narrative, right? In order to have a civil war, you have to have an organized side that's ready to go against the other organized side. And right now, I don't see any organization of anybody. I see one side having the upper hand. I see the other side that would have to use social media and electronic communication to get anything organized, and good luck doing that. So no, I could see civil unrest, but we've already experienced that. So with it being Christmas Eve, it's the whole Civil War thing is people are worried about something that hasn't happened yet, and will only happen if you let the narrative control your mind and take you in that direction. So that's my opinion on that. I got to go to a meeting at church. Be blessed all and be safe. So John, does that mean you've made it home? Cycling Trucker, what's up? How you doing? If you can net a third, let me show this. If you can net, hold if you can add a third of your overall gross revenue, you're doing okay. There you go. So that's what it's all about, right? Yeah, I know all about dogs that couldn't make up their mind. Look, our dog's not too bad. He rings the bell. We have a bell on this doorknob, and he's figured out to ring it. So it's like the pets are going ding 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 ding. Hey, human, serve me, and that's pretty much what we're doing. We feed and shelter them, and what we get out of it. You know, the dog stinks sometimes when he comes in from the outside, and the cats don't like us, you know, other than if I've got the laser thing. Other than that, you know, companionship, right? So, get a present for the cat. Thank you, Nomadic Brit.
Cats do occasionally catch a mouse, so that's
Yeah, they do catch a mouse. They play with it and they wonder why it doesn't move anymore, and then we got to pick it up and but Nomadic Brit, thank you very much. I appreciate that. You guys are being generous, and I appreciate that. It's Christmas time, right? Do you think we need another 9/11 to bring this country together, or is it too late? Here's the problem with another 9/11. I don't think it would unite anything because, you know, if you think about when 9/11 happened, okay, we were all unified because there wasn't a narrative, a social media narrative to divide us at that point in time. You know, the internet was still fairly new. It wasn't being manipulative as it is now. And you didn't have all these different narratives from all these different sides and corporations to divide us, to think about our division, to think about skin color, to think about privilege or not privilege, right? And so what happened in the years after? Well, 10 years later, they're like, hey, you know what? All these conspiracy theories started to come out, you know, and whether you believe, I don't care what theory you believe, okay? I don't care what facts you've seen or heard, but right away, you know, well, within the 10 years, you see division created. Well, it was this. No, it was this. No, it was this. You're an idiot if you think this. You're blind if you see that. And so nowadays, when something happens, tragic happens, like, say, a mass shooting, you know, you got half the people say, oh, it's a flag event. You got other half, oh, it's staged. You got the other half, oh, it's an epidemic, you know, that kind of thing. And so I don't think that another 9/11 would unite us because of the narratives that have been put forth for the last 30 years. So Nomadic Brit says, good morning. This is Snorelord.
good morning, Britt.
Sent you and the wife a Christmas gift on Cash App. Chucky, what are you doing? That's a weird sound. Wow, Chucky. Holy crap. Dude, that is crazy. Thank you, guys. You guys are very generous. Thank you very much. I feel bad because I haven't gotten you anything. Man, thank you very much. I will show the wife. That will definitely, maybe I'll put that towards the StreamYard and a good dinner for the wife. But thank you very much. Let's see. I don't want to sound too negative at this point. I don't know if an alien invasion could bring this country back together. We might have to have like an Independence Day kind of thing, right? You know, I think that's how it would have to happen. Check out the time lapse video of how they rebuilt the trade tower. It's awesome. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. So, Truck with T-Bone, good morning. Chucky, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. No problem. No need. My wife want to hang it with yours sometime. Yeah, I mean, you guys almost were like this close to becoming Missouri residents, but I understand family comes first. But yeah, you guys need to come out here. If you guys hit the truck show, maybe we can hang out there. I don't know if the wife's going to come with me or not. It's tough to get her out of the house because she pretty much runs this house when I'm not around. She runs this house when I am around. So, those of you who are thinking about getting into the trucking business, that's why the spouse has to be on board because, even if you're getting your CDL and becoming a truck driver, if you go OTR, you're pretty much making the spouse a single parent for the most part. That's one of the things that I had to tell new trainees is that, look, there's the adjustment of learning to drive a truck. That's one thing, but the emotional adjustment that you got to make when you're at home, that's usually what takes a lot of people out. If you're the man of the house and you're used to making all the decisions, you have to get over the fact that your wife's going to make some decisions. Your wife's going to have to gain some independence, and and there'll be times when you come home and you'll feel like a stranger in your own house. That's the reality, and a lot of guys can't handle that. That there's and if you're the kind of guy that won't let the wife make any decision while you're gone, then you're kind of putting yourself in a situation as well, where you get no rest, you get no break, because the spouse doesn't realize the stress that you're going through learning how to drive a truck across the country and all the things you got to worry about. And so, but yet you don't realize the stress that's on her while you're gone. So it's especially hard, especially if you've got little kids. Our kids were little when I started this venture, and but that adjustment is what takes a lot of people out. So I've talked about this before. So a lot of guys get day cab jobs, and you find out that you're working third shift, 16 hours a day, for half the money, sometimes not, but then you never see your kids that way. There's no flexibility, so what?
No, keep going with what you're going, but when you get to the question about Missouri, I have an answer for that.
Okay.
You'll let me know why it went.
All right, so
Finish your thought.
no, that was essentially it. The one that Jacob E. Lane saying, speaking of Civil War, whose side was Missouri on, north or south?
Yeah,
That
I
one?
read about that.
Okay. Let my beautiful wife say.
Missouri was very divided on the Civil War. We actually had two governors for a big part of it. Officially, we were a Union state, but there was a lot of Confederate sentiments, especially I think in the southern half of the state. There was it Osceola? There was one city where the Confederate sentiment was so strong. While their guys were off fighting for the Confederacy, the Union Army, like I think it was Jayhawkers on their way back to Kansas, went through town, and some people were taking some pot shots out of windows, and the Union burned the city to the ground. So that's how divided our state was. We had two governors, and the southern governor was like in exile, I think, operating out of maybe Texas. It might have been Arkansas, because Texas is a long way away. But yeah, we officially we were a Union state, though. So that's my history lesson for today.
There you go. Ain't she precious? Yeah, we were in short, we were fence sitters. So I say we like I was here. I wasn't here. Truck for Life says hit the morning. TJ, what's up? Hit the thumbs up. Thank you. It's hard to see the. Yep, you learn something new every day. Now Osceola sells cheese. So if you're going down Highway 13 between Kansas City and Springfield, you will see the Osceola cheese. And I believe they have enough room for a truck or two. So I need to win the lottery so I can replace the Chicken Light. Whatever you do, don't Dave, don't let I know every time I've gotten a light changed at TA, they can't. It's a challenge for them. I don't know what it is about lights. I go in for light every time I've gone in for a simple light change at a TA. It becomes this huge wiring issue, or strip out the bolts, and it turns into a whole thing. So the Kenworth lights are pretty expensive, and I have no problem letting Kenworth deal with it. So, but you do learn something new every day. Look, my wife has a lot of interest in history, especially, Civil War era history. I believe she actually owns a cannon, like a cannonball.
Cannonball,
Yeah, not a cannon. Yeah, from a cannon, but it's pretty. It's like this big. Think about getting hit with something like basically a bullet that big.
I'll let you show it off if you want.
Oh yeah, forgot. Don't hurt yourself, please. My wife likes to run in the house. She falls like once a day.
You can't tell me how to live my life.
Yeah, here's the. Imagine getting hit by that. I don't know what speed that would be going at you, but that's why a lot of Civil War veterans were amputees and all that. Civil War is stupid. The only one that makes sense would be American private citizens versus corrupted government.
Yes, that's.
Yeah, and that's hard to organize when they control everything. So, I mean, look, we have a lot of freedoms that I think that we've taken for granted, but we also have lost a lot of other freedoms. But this is a Christmas Live. We don't want to talk about that kind of stuff. So, but I am paying attention, guys. I am paying attention. Just leaving St. Louis, 600 miles back to Atlanta for tonight. Otherwise, my missus will shoot me on sight and then nail me to a tree if I'm late. So driving but listening. Nomadic Brit, be safe going home. And tell your missus, Merry Christmas and all that. Fran, what's up? Gus, history lesson. Yep. Fran says Merry Christmas. Pigtail, your brother is a Civil War reenactor. That's awesome. I could probably pass for a Civil War guy. One of our favorite bands that we listen to, Vader. They're a death metal band out of Poland. The lead singer is World War II reenactor. So I think that would be interesting, but it might be fun, might not. So, but Civil War. Our first Civil War was, there was lines drawn and property and territory. And Missouri was right on the edge of it. And that division came naturally, whereas the vision that we have now is kind of, it's been fabricated for the most part. So humans are tribal by nature, and if you look at what social media does, it kind of capitalizes on human nature, human traits: greed, ego, narcissism, tribal. It seems like people are anxious to be a minority, like. Not a minority like in skin color, but just like, there's only a few of me and I need my rights kind of a thing. You have people that have perfectly good lives that think that they're being oppressed. So, that's the world we live in today. Let's see. I thought you have a cannon in the backyard when you said cannon. Yeah, I meant cannonball. So yeah, I'm sorry, Tolga. I did not mean to be misleading.
I mean, if we ever win the lottery, I can buy a cannon. That would be pretty cool.
All right, well, we'll start a cannon fund. I'm in Arkansas right now. This warm weather and high wind got me wondering what's behind it. Yeah, Cash, I haven't looked at a forecast, but yeah, we're supposed to get up to 71 degrees. I didn't realize it was going to be so windy today. TA says this is going to be expensive, right? Yep. Me and my roommates back at 79 had a cannon until the cops busted us for shooting it with a flour load at the old ladies across the street. Dave, you are a wild and crazy guy. If your wife hears drums and pipes, she'll march away. She might.
That's no joke.
She might. She might. Bill, thank you. Merry Christmas to you. Hello, everyone. I hope you all have a great weekend. I'll catch the replay. Had a surprise from work, and they got me home a day earlier than I expected, so I'm out causing trouble on the town. Good deal. With the babe. Well, you and the babe have a good Christmas. Charles Spray, thank you. Hope you have a great holiday. Merry Christmas to you. Yeah, I mean, the weather's been kind of crazy. It seems like we're hitting more extremes. And, you know, if you pay attention to solar cycles, you know, that's the biggest cause of it. So, but, you know, the narrative will make you think of something else. So, but again, we don't talk about that kind of stuff. Not right now, not today. So, but Jeff, I think I saw Jeff jump in here. Jeff, did you jump in here?
He was for a minute.
Yeah, you probably got a phone call. So, Truck for Life is going to rain here today in Wisconsin. Well, it's better than snow. Can inflation collapse? Look, I have no idea, man. I'm not an economist, and that first class, and that's what. Look, here's the deal, guys. You want to be aware of your surroundings. You want to be aware of things that are going on, but you got to be careful what your news sources are. You know, I watched the Doom and Gloom YouTube video yesterday, and the person talked about how they were oppressed by YouTube, and so therefore they had to start a Patreon channel. And that now all the important stuff that she's been sharing is only going to Patreon. So you know, because they're not censored there. And that's, is there censorship going on? Absolutely. But it's from the corporations, right? There are people out there that I call fear merchants. There's an economic channel that I don't think I've watched but one of his videos, and I get a new video from that person every day. Is, you know, my notifications. Because it's always, you know, you have economists channels that have been talking about a collapse for the last 5-10 years. You know, that's how they've done their YouTube. And directly underneath is a link how you can buy their product, their book, their code for gold and silver and all that. Now, are we on a good trajectory? Absolutely not. But again, there's nothing you can do that controls that. You're worried about a problem that hasn't happened yet. And if you can prepare yourself, get your debt down, have your job straight, have some backup supplies, then, you know, in a backup plan, then you're not as afraid, right? And you have people out there that want to sell you things based off of fear. There was, you know, how many million new gun owners this year? They bought those out of fear that the government was going to take them away, fear that you know, civil unrest was going to happen, fear of a civil war. You know, I noticed that Bass Pro is selling green tip armor piercing bullets now. That's not really a good deer hunting round. Right? And so is there a narrative out there to make you think, well, maybe I need an ammo can full of green tips? I mean, come on. So you have to not let the doom and gloom get to you, you know? So, you know, Jeff says, start over. You said that last time, Jeff. Nevada's in the house. Vote for the cooler name on the ballot, right? Let's see. Crossroads with Joshua Phillips, Epic Times is hands down best journal source. TJ Jones, I was subscribed to Epoch Times, I think, at one point. But look, there's good news and bad news, right? As far as outlets and but they all have a narrative. They all have something to sell. And you have to be very careful. If someone's giving you information, what is their motive? What is their intention? And so, like, I saw an ad for a thing called Fair News, Smart News, or whatever. It's supposed to be unbiased. It's not. It's not. It's designed to let you, for the person that wants to avoid all the news, to click on that app and the headlines are all the same, right? So let's see. People who call for extremes in either direction are just guessing. But if they happen to be right, all for the next 10 years, then they tell you they was right. Right. And that's kind of the thing, There's been times where I said, look, I predicted this, or I told you this was going to happen, and when I say that to you, I'm only feeding my ego. I'm only feeding my narcissism by saying, hey, look, you know what? I called this 3 months ago, 6 months ago, because I have called a few things right when it comes to the spot market and trucks and stuff. Vote for what you believe in too, right? So, it's, and look, this is, where's the link? I don't have a link out there yet, Jeff. I hate when there's a no vote option. Sometimes I don't like both for that position. I hate leaving it blank, right? The problem is we have too many old geezers running this country. Look, here's the thing, guys. Whatever you're taking in, whatever news sources you're reading, whatever TV shows you're watching, whatever people you're talking about, if it gives you no hope, if it gives you a disgruntled look at life, they're winning. You can't let all these outside sources take away your happiness. They could take away your car, they could take away your house, they could take away your whatever. But if you let them take away your hope, if you let them take away your happiness, they win. They win. If it takes away your spirituality, if it takes away your peace, that is how they win. And so when you're stressed, when you're depressed, when you're full of anxiety, they get you. COVID gets you. Everything gets you. You make bad decisions. You make bad financial decisions. You make emotional business decisions. And if you let your emotions get the best of you in a negative way, they win. That's it. So I'll let you in here in a minute, Jeff. When do you think truck prices come back to normal? Charles, I think it's going to be longer than I originally thought, because when you have the CEO of Snyder say that there's going to be a problem in 22, that means that the lack of used equipment is going to be higher and higher. So you have a lot of people that want to upgrade their truck or have no choice but to get a second truck because their first one broke down. It's going to get worse and worse on the equipment for trucks and trailers. I'm hoping that there'll be a run on trailers once the New Year's is over, and a lot of these places that have been leasing for storage will return them to leasing companies. But most places that are getting brand new trailers in right now are leasing them. They're not selling them. So I haven't taken holding serious since the Cola Wars in the 80s. Oh, voting serious since war in the 80s, right? At this stage of my life, peace and serenity are my goals, right, Bill? And that's what it has to be. don't worry about a problem you don't have, right? And if I encourage you guys to read a book called The Fourth Turning. I encourage you guys to read that because what it does is it kind of gives you predictions based off of I'm live.
Sorry.
So hold on. But it's I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Oh, Fourth Turning. So yeah, Fourth Turning, it kind of gives the reasons of why our country is going through what it's going through right now. It's kind of it gives the predictions. It gives the predictions of what's happening now, and this was written in '97, and it tells you not only the hows but the whys. And and World War II was the one thing that kind of one of the many things that made our country, the powerhouse that it's been was World War II. We had resources, we had patriotism, we had there wasn't any corporate narratives to divide us. So just watch the news like 30 years ago. Like watch a news article, like 60 Minutes did an article about this horrific new virus, and it's literally like the same exact narrative that's in the news today. So how do these truck dealerships expect to stay in business if they ain't selling nothing? That is what everybody's worried about, Diesel fan. That is what that's what they're worried. That's why they're spiking the prices of these trucks. So if they normally sell 20 used trucks in a month, now they're only selling 10. So they gotta keep their profit margin at a certain point. And that's why you're seeing 500,000 mile trucks for 150 grand. New trucks, if you're able to stay on your build order, are still the same price for the most part. But if you find a random new truck, then my opinion is my advice is don't support dealerships that are price gouging. Don't support anybody. I remember when the pandemic first started, the convenience stores were selling boxes of masks for $50. $50 for a box of masks that you can get at Walmart right now for 10. Absolutely ridiculous. And so then yell at you if you didn't have a mask on in the store. It's kind of a crazy world today. It really is. A lot of hypocrisy, a lot of evil running around. So up in the repair bill, yep. Are there dealerships making their money from the service part? Yes, absolutely. So, right, if you read and think Grow Rich, it tells you how they dealt with the flu. Nothing like today. Look, education is different. Whatever. It's time to hit 88 in the DeLorean and go back to 1985. Yeah. So, all right, Jeff, we'll see if we can get you in here. So, let me see here. How do I do this? Invite. Copy to clipboard. All right, close that. Paste. There's the link. Governor of New York said the news media stopped creating fear and the flu went away within a week. If the truck dealership has a shop, expect labor rates to go up. They got to make a certain amount of revenue somehow. That is true. Look, I said last year, guys, and here's my narcissism talking. I said last year that these high rates as awesome as they are, wouldn't last because everything else is going to go up. And I've been right. Repairs went up, equipment prices went up, fuel's gone up, tolls have gone up. Your net has gone down. And if you don't have a strategy for your net of what you're taking home, and you're working yourself to death now, it's not going to be good. I mean, that's just a fact. That's a business fact. So, and I think at this point, people are sick of the doom and gloom. At some point, there's going to be a backlash. If you put so much doom and gloom out there, people will stop tuning in. People just don't want to hear it anymore. They want to go about their lives. They want everything to be normal again. They don't want to live in fear anymore. You can only live in fear for so long before you snap or you just kind of separate yourself from it. DEF has gone up 200%. What's DEF costing now? Last time I got DEF, it was like $269, I think. So no matter what you do, if you don't make dollars, it don't make sense. All I know. That's great. And that's true. That's true. That's what rules our world. That's what rules, And the more net you can take home, the more freedoms you have. Let's see. I meet a guy in a dealer said he needs his company to up the speed to 75. It's already at 71. Why do you need more? He said to do 7 instead of 6 loads a week. I said 6, you're going to kill yourself. Fran, when I was at Schneider, a lot of the Schneider finance guys, and yeah, I'm categorizing you Schneider finance guys. Always blew my doors off. Always doing 75. And I know a couple other people that are not Schneider lease guys that that run 75 everywhere, thinking that extra load is gonna make you more revenue, right? But reality is you're burning more fuel, you're putting more wear and tear on the truck, and you're going to run out of hours anyways. So you really don't gain anything at the end of the day when you do the math of everything that's involved, not just the load itself. And that's the thing. People don't look at the bigger picture. If you only look at this business one load at a time, you're not gonna make it. So let's see here, Jeff. Jeff, are you audio only?
Yeah, audio only. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hold on. I think you're in here now. Yep, you're in here now.
What's happening, Steve?
Not much. I'm doing the StreamYard thing. I'm trying to be like you.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, sir. Cheers.
Yeah, I'm on my way to UPS for the second time this week because they're trying to get extra money for some reason.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. So at Wednesday, a package. It said package on the way, right?
Uh-huh.
At 4:00, they scan it. It's supposed to be on the truck. At 10:00, they say package rescheduled by receiver, which is me, which I never rescheduled anything.
Uh-huh.
So, of course, you can't get a hold of nobody. So I had to go online, pay $8 to pick it up. I get over there, and they're like, well, no one rescanned it in. All right, so why do I have to pay $8 to come and get my package when it was supposed to be delivered today? He couldn't answer. He walked back there, took him about 20 minutes, found it, and brought it out to me. Now I got 3 coming today. I just got the message again. Package rescheduled for Tuesday. All 3 of them.
Yeah.
So they want another $24, so I go pick them up myself. I don't get it.
Well, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm seeing like extra fees being tagged on to things now. People are going to get their money one way or another. I mean, in my opinion, and so I've noticed restaurant food's up, and for good reason. I mean, their costs have gone up, shipping costs have gone up. And so
It's a
following-
UPS scam, right?
well, yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's just another example of these companies getting more money because everybody's kind of struggling at this point, you know. So
Either that or they don't have enough drivers and they don't want to say nothing.
well, yeah, I mean that's probably part of it. Yeah, they need that pension money. UPS is
Yeah, they need that extra, Yeah, so they wouldn't give my $8 back either. I'm like, well, I didn't reschedule it. So tell me who did. I don't know.
hell, our UPS guy, he delivered a package yesterday. He literally just walked up the door, did that, and left. So
That's all they do now. They don't even wait. There's no signatures required anymore.
Yeah, that's. I mean, and of course, we don't have a problem with porch pirates yet, but I live on a dead end street, so it's really not an issue, and I got the cameras and all that. But yeah, it's kind of. I mean, look, everybody's trying to get their money, and so I expect, now we're paying more for less. Now we have more headaches for more stress because, like you go to a restaurant, most chain restaurants, the lines are out the door because they don't have enough people to accommodate. So I've been trying to support the small mom and pop places, like that pizza place over there by your house. It's a small mom and pop place, they need our help. Over 100,000 restaurants went out of business last year.
Well, I give them my help as much as I can, $130 a pop. But,
you eat too much pizza.
Well, yeah, so I got to drive over here. It's it's got Christmas presents, right? I got to go here. That's how much money I got to give you to get those 3 packages. What do you want? $8 a piece, $50 a piece. What is it? Because they got you held hostage.
Oh yeah. Well,
what are you gonna do?
You're lucky that you even got them before Christmas.
Well, that's why I'm going over here. I'm gonna walk in there and make them give them to me.
Yeah, it's like, hey.
I might have to pull out. I might have to pull out a debit card, but I'm gonna get those packages.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I mean, I've been telling people. I mean, there's a lot of last minute stuff that we're not able to get right now. So yeah, that's what I was like, man, you're better off to do your Christmas shopping in October. So.
Well, there'll be no trailers, right? Trailers will be a huge shortage in 2022 because, I've already talked to a few trailer guys and they talked to their manufacturers and they're getting zero. I mean, the one that you bought your trailer from, they said they're lucky if they can get one by September, in September or October. Nothing all the way for the first 10 months. They'll get no trailers whatsoever.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, I'm here in 2023 with most manufacturers of trucks and trailers. So I don't see this. There has to be a complete crash of the system for equipment to be readily available again. And that will be a problem in of itself, but I don't see that happening, unless something major goes on.
So when
go ahead, Jeff.
So when PJ called me up about that truck, my old truck, he said he's going to trade it in. The dealer was going to give him X amount of dollars. I say, no. You sell that to somebody in the open market. You don't let that dealer make a crap ton of money off of you.
Yeah, definitely. What was he asking? I missed your live feed, Jeff. I literally got in right when you hit the end button. What's he asking?
Basically about 67,000 or best offer.
Okay.
147,000 miles on it.
147,000. Man, that's you get a truck with 147,000 miles on it with for 60 grand. That's a better deal than when I got. When I bought my truck. So.
Right, it's fully loaded. Right, it's got all the all the high tech stuff in there at that time. The screen with all the maintenance features in it, and the computer screen and whatever with the GPS and all that stuff.
Yeah,
it's all.
And you put the bunk heater in there, and You've
Yeah,
got
I
an
put the bunk
EPU
heater
on it.
in. Yeah, I got a bunk heater and then got the electric APUs on it.
Yeah.
So it's got air conditioning. Then it's got diesel heat. So that's good. It's just a smaller bunk. That's all. But still, for somebody getting into business or wants to upgrade, that's not hardly no miles on a truck.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. Yeah, it's definitely not a truck you go coast to coast with, but definitely something
Regional guy, regional.
like hell, that'd be a perfect truck for me if I wanted it.
Right. I told him, I might buy it back from him. I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
Thinking about it, yeah, you can move trailers with that thing.
That's what
Once
I
you
thought.
find, yeah. Charles asks, "Why do we have a labor shortage? I know a fast food restaurant chain in Oklahoma is paying $17.50 an hour." Here's my theory on the labor. Okay.
You give your theory, I'll give mine.
Okay. A lot of people hated their jobs, and so when they got this money passed out, and I have several theories. This is one. They were like, "Hey, I'm out." And they didn't want to return to their crappy job that they hated. Number two, a lot of people don't want to return to work as long as they can pay the bills with the money that the government's passed out, because they're afraid. They're afraid of getting sick, or they're afraid, of whatever. So I think that fear and discontentment is what's keeping people from working, because now and then, social media, like especially in teenagers, they give this message that your job has to be perfect. Your first job has to be perfect. You have to be following your life passion. And working at McDonald's flipping burgers isn't a life passion for most people. And so a lot of people are not going back to work because they could survive without it, and they hated their jobs. So that's why you have that. All right, Jeff, your turn.
Okay, so we had our generation, and the people that are in their 50s and just a little younger. That was the biggest workforce in America, was that age group.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them, right, a lot of them got laid off, got the money or got employment and everything, and then a lot of them just took the retirement. They retired. They said, the heck with this. They were out of work for a year. They just stayed retired. They didn't come back because they did a lot of investments. They made a lot of money. And all that workforce came out. They didn't come back. And the problem is the younger people, you can't get out. They don't want to work.
Well, either they don't want to work,
so
or
they can't replace. Yeah, right. And they can't replace those people because the older generation didn't come back. They just stayed gone.
Well, I think another part of it is like, let's use Subway as an example. I remember when Subway, you had one.
I'm going to go on mute. Go ahead. I'm going to go in here and yell at you. Yes.
Okay. Subway, you had maybe one within a 5-mile radius. Now you got like 5, right? And so I think that there's been an overabundance of these fast food joints that now can't staff their people because they can't support the amount of restaurants in their area. You don't need 15 or 30 Subways in a 100,000 person town. And so there's a lot of thinning of that out as well. So I think that's part of it. 25 million people retired from the workforce. Yeah, that's people no longer believe they need to start at the bottom and pay their dues. Right. That is absolutely true, Bill. I agree with that. So we're gonna make Jeff jump back in. So Pale Rider, what's up, man? Click the link if you want to come in, Pale Rider, unless you're not able to, then I understand. But anyways, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Thank you for the gifts that you guys have super chatted. Thank you for the positive vibes. You guys have given me a great year. I love the interaction, and we'll make this we'll make this StreamYard thing a little bit more often because I'm going to be home more often. So we're trying to create other streams of revenue. So we got to work on that. I believe that, guys, here's the deal. Don't let other people, don't let the media, don't let outside forces take away your happiness. Don't let them take away your contentment, you know? And don't let them win, right? Happiness is a form of rebellion now, not pleasure. It's the difference. One is cortisol, one is serotonin. Go for a walk. Turn the phones off. Get off TikTok. Okay? Leave TikTok at the door. You know, even if you're a business that wants to advertise TikTok, advertise, but don't get on it, right? Don't let this screen in front of you, right here, this whole screen thing, don't let this take away your happiness, okay? Steve, hypothetically, do you think if you went back to Landstar with the knowledge you have now that you would kill it over there? Damon, yes and no. That's a good question. I know the system better. And so if I went back to Landstar now, what I would do is I would avoid the low board as much as possible. I would find an agent that had access to spot market freight and let him or her work their magic. That's the best way. The low board, when you first get into Landstar, that's like the hardest platform. I would find the Landstar agents that had the direct freight and that were able to negotiate good rates from the spot market. That's how I would do it. And I would have my own trailer. I did make a lot of money on the drop-in hooks, but especially with the equipment deals right now, I would not want to do drop-in hooks right now. So, see, Fran. Okay, so Fran says, I see Burger King offering $1,500 sign-on bonus, but still no one wants to work. If you're willing to pay people that amount of money to come on your company and you can't get people onto your company, what does that tell you about your company? What does that tell you about? What does that tell you? Okay. Now, you could sit there and say it's a mindset, people are lazy, whatever. But people want to work. You know, my youngest was really good, you know, at the job, right? And it's a fast food joint. It's all mindset. And they've corrupted the mindset of most people, both young and old. But also, you know, if you have choices, like, well, everybody's paying $18 an hour now. And this person's offering this, and this person's offering this. You know, now your company has to stand out. Now your company, it's the grass is greener syndrome. So, Chucky, that's funny. It'll tell you don't have a viable business. So, and that it tells you, you know, look, you do have to pay your dues. So it's all about mindset. You know, I've told everybody that, you know, close to me that, and we told our kids this, that sometimes you just got to shovel crap. And the only thing that you have control is how you react to it. And so if you can minimize negative reactions and have a great mindset, any job is worth doing. So if you do research, sign-on bonuses are big scams. Trust me. Yes. All I know is it's absolutely true. It's an interesting name, by the way. That is true for the most part. Now, when I worked at Transland, they did have a $1,500 sign-on bonus, but then later on I would learn that that's the money that they paid you while you're learning to drive or learning their system as a new CDL holder. And that was what paid your basically that was your pay. And they distributed it slowly, So, no, Nomadic Brit, that's not going to happen. So, anyways, guys, we're going to get off here. I appreciate everybody. I want everybody to have a Merry Christmas. Those of you who sent me gifts, I really appreciate it. Those of you who sent me super chats, thank you very much. Those of you who sent me cash apps, I appreciate it. Cascade Transport sent me a shirt. I will show it off. Look at that. This is what they wear for t-shirts in North Dakota, because it's always so cold there. I had Moonfleece send me this shirt, Lawrence Welk. So, but guys, Merry Christmas, and we'll be live before the New Year, so I won't say Happy New Year yet. I hope all is well. Be safe out there, guys. It's a crazy world. We all know this. Don't let it get you down. Don't let them take away your happiness. Peace.